I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, joined by Fitz Stadler. Fitz at 6'9". I think that you're the tallest player in Lugnuts team history. Are you the tallest person in your family?
Yes. I have two older brothers that are around 6'4", and my dad's around 6'2". My mom's kind of tall for a girl, I'd say. She's like around 5'8". So I also have a sister who's 5'8" as well. But yeah, I am the tallest in the family.
So cousins, aunts, uncles, you just stand above everybody.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was adopted, so I mean, I'm blessed to be where I'm at right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. We don't really know how tall his parents were, so it's kind of hard to tell. But
did you hit several different growth spurts?
I'd say I grew gradually, like throughout high school. Like my freshman year, I was around 6'2", 6'3", and then as I got to sophomore year, I was around 6'6", and then junior year, I was like 6'7", 6'8", and then I kind of just grew like another inch, maybe my senior year.
I remember reading with Anthony Davis before he really shot up. He was a point guard.
Yeah.
For you, were you playing sports differently than before you became super tall?
Some people would say when I was younger, I could barely walk and chew gum. But, I mean, I always kind of tried to make myself more of an athlete. I'd say football helped me out with that a lot in high school. So
I saw that you were football team captain, right?
Yeah.
What did it take to become, was there something that you had to go through where you had to speak to your teammates, whatever it was, to be voted team captain, to be named captain?
No, I would just say every day during practice, just showing up and doing the work that needs to be done would be the best way to do that. I mean, it's kind of just one way to have a voice for your team, I would say. But I definitely loved playing the sport of football, and just because it was an all-around team sport, and if you wanted to be good, everybody had to be good around you.
What positions did you play?
I played quarterback, but I mean, in order to play quarterback, you got to have a lot of help around you, and then that really helped me out in high school. We had a really good running back, or a few good running backs, and when you have a few good running backs, you're able to pass the ball pretty well.
Play action game.
Yeah, exactly.
Joined by Fitz Stadler. All right, captain of the football team. Captain of the baseball team too, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, well, I was wondering, any other leadership positions that you sought out?
Being a leader was just something that kind of like, I've always kind of led by example, I would say. I don't really like to talk that much when it's game time, but when things that need to be done, I just kind of put my nose down and get them done.
Was there one game that really stood out to you in high school, whether football or baseball?
I mean, not really. Just leading up to the games, I would say just like all the practices that we've been through and just all the hard work that we do as a team, it kind of leads up to those first few games, and you're really hyped up for them. And it was kind of just, my senior year was a little bit less of that just because I had already had experience with the year before, and just junior year was like kind of like all new to me, like coming out Friday night lights like for football and coming out in the varsity game for the first time for baseball. It was a lot of fun, but I would say I owed the experience and like kind of calm the nerves to my older teammates.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, football, baseball. I think the natural question, you probably get asked this a lot, did you play basketball at all?
I stopped playing basketball after my freshman year of high school. I mean, it was kind of just a decision I made based on like my future as a football player or baseball player. Obviously, it ended up being baseball, but I mean, I just kind of liked playing baseball more just because maybe there was more success. I don't know, but it just always came to me as more fun just because you're out there in the summertime and you're having fun with a bunch of teammates and stuff.
Your brothers both played college baseball. At what point did you say to yourself, I want to play college baseball too?
I'd say my brothers, they were a big influence in my life.
Yeah.
They kind of like paved a way for me in high school, and high school was a big chance for me to like be ahead of the curve just based on what my teammates and like coaches knew about me just based on my older brothers. So they definitely helped me out a lot.
They were Indiana Hoosiers, and just in looking at the roster, Kyle Schwarber's name jumped out to me.
Yeah.
Have you met Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a few games and sat in his seats and seen him after the games, but other than that, I mean, it's kind of just my brother's teammates. I mean, they had a lot of fun together. I think they were in the 2013 College World Series, so I'm sure that was a lot of fun and a lot of baseball games being won.
We'll keep talking about athletics in a second, but first, how important has academics been to you with all the balancing of sports?
I'd say it's a pretty big part of my life. I mean, I chose college out of high school, and just going to college for my family was a big thing. I mean, my entire immediate family went to Indiana, so I kind of chose a different path, but I chose the same coach as my older brothers, though. So
was that a big part of why you went to Arizona State?
I would say so. Yeah, he kind of knew what I was like, knew what my family was like, and it helped with obviously getting the attention. But I mean, getting to play was another thing. Yeah.
There just kept on being one more Stadler down the line.
Yeah.
You're the next Stadler. You go to Arizona State. You decline the Chicago Cubs after they draft you. How was that Arizona State experience?
I thought it was an experience that I would have to have at some point, going to college and also playing baseball. I mean, I really wanted to go to college, and going to Arizona State was beautiful. Like, there was great weather pretty much every day. Like walking on campus and seeing palm trees everywhere, and then like going home on like my winter breaks and having to shovel snow was kind of tough, but I'd say the weather was a big factor.
Were you better tanned than everybody back home?
Yeah, definitely.
How did you grow as a pitcher there?
I'd say there's a lot more throwing involved because being in the Chicago area, there isn't much time to throw in the offseason and stuff like that. So it's a big change for me to get out there and be playing baseball all year. But other than that, I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, coaches helped me out a lot because of being across the whole country. But I would definitely owe it to my family for being along with me for the ride and supporting me out there.
Did you become a different pitcher than you were in high school, where you achieved such success, than you were as a pitcher in college?
I was a starter in high school, and I kind of switched over to being like a long relief or spot starter at ASU. I mean, I didn't have as many innings as I would have liked, and that's a big part of why I chose pro ball after my junior year, redshirt sophomore year. I just knew I would get the innings and get the development that I really needed. So the Blue Jays have blessed me with a great opportunity to have more fun while playing baseball and getting all the opportunities I need.
Let's talk about that, because, you're back into the cold here, but you get drafted last year.
It's not that bad here.
Especially not today.
Yeah.
Let's go back to last year, approaching the draft.
Yeah.
Did you have any expectations when your name would be called, by who?
No, zero. I was just blessed to have the opportunity to play for the Blue Jays, and luckily it came to a point where I'm playing the Midwest League now.
How soon after you got drafted were you suddenly pitching in that very first professional game?
I think I was like 2 weeks maybe. I'm not sure. I reported to like the mini camp in Florida, and then I eventually made it up to Bluefield like a week later. And Bluefield was pretty welcoming. Like, it was a small town, and it was kind of nice because there wasn't many distractions, and you could kind of just go about playing baseball every day and not think about anything else. And obviously not being around school either was a big help. I had a lot of fun in Bluefield, and then eventually went to Vancouver, and that was a lot of fun as well. Beautiful weather, beautiful city. just a great environment playing in that Bailey Stadium.
After you finished up last season, did you hit the offseason with any goals?
Definitely to get a lot stronger. I think that my body could hold a little bit more weight, and I think I could get a lot more athletic. And other than that, just building a lot more arm strength to make it through another whole full season was one of my biggest things, and just kind of like getting bigger, faster, and stronger is probably the best way to put it.
Okay, so you arrived this year at spring training. Do you feel, because of the work that you put in, do you feel bigger, faster, stronger?
I'd say I would, but I think there's a lot more to come just based on in my past outings, I've been leaving the ball up a little bit and just having the stamina to be a full-time starter now, or not a full-time starter, but I'm a piggyback guy, so I start every other time. And
working multiple innings.
Yeah, throwing around 60 to 80 pitches is definitely a big step, and I thought that was a big part of offseason, and just holding the stamina throughout those pitches is hard to do, and hard to get the same guy out more than once is definitely a big role too.
That idea of get the ball down, don't leave it up, feels like it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Just to staying on top of the ball and letting it just feel it out in front of you, and really just letting my sinker play down in the zone and letting my infield work behind me, I'd say, is a big thing. Just keep the pitch limit down, or the pitch number down, and just having the defense work behind me is just definitely a big thing, because when you get to this level, I'm pretty sure everybody can get it done. So,
just in watching you pitch so far, the first thing that occurred to me, when you're going well, the ball thuds off the bats of the batters. It's the old bowling ball feel. Have you been told that you throw a heavy ball?
I maybe a few times, but I just try and keep the ball down in the zone and let my height kind of help me out, because when the ball comes out a little bit closer to the plate, it's obviously got to be harder to hit. But I mean, I just try and keep the ball down and just keep like the plane going down, so it's harder to get an angle with the bat.
How's your secondary stuff feeling?
It's getting there, I would say. Definitely working on a change-up a lot more now, and just keeping the breaking ball around and making my change-up a pitch that I can throw in any count.
What grip do you use?
Circle change.
Is this new?
Not really. I mean, I've been working on it my whole life, but I just can't really seem to get it consistent to where the fact that I can throw it in every count. But
finally, with Fitz Stadler, besides baseball, what else do you really enjoy? What else do you know?
Just hanging out with friends outside of the field, trying to stay away from baseball and keeping your mind fresh. I play a little bit of golf every now and then. But other than that, I actually just bought a PS4, so now I'm a new video game guy.
All right.
I really haven't been in my life, so.
Any preferred games?
I've been playing MLB The Show. That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fitz, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Lansing Lugnuts pitcher Fitz Stadler. I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, and this is Lugnuts Baseball.